What's going on, YouTube world? Welcome back to Little Bit Man Gaming, bringing you Cyberpunk 2077 review. Finally about to do this review. First things first, you can hit that like, subscribe, and share, and the notification button. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, leave a comment, do all those great things because it helps the channel grow and it helps me grow as a YouTuber. Plus, trying to get to 100 subscribers. Yeah, just do all the great things. I appreciate you. I love all my fans. I love all the people who watch the videos. Hey, keep doing it for me, right? But yeah. First thing first. So I actually was in the middle of making a video, but I had to plug my camera out because my camera battery is plugged up, right? I'm professional me not to charge up my camera. But yeah. So first things first. What I didn't like about this game, right? We're going to get the bad stuff out the way first, right? What I didn't like about Cyberpunk 2077 was that I'm very hyped for this game. Beside the way how I'm about to talk about it, about the bad stuff, it might not seem like I like the game, right? But I'm going to get it right out the way. Love this game. This game, the good, if you could get through the bad, the good would really outweigh the bad if you could just get through it, right? Now I understand this game has some stuff in it that might not be for everybody. For example, it's not negative for me because I didn't really care about it, but I have friends who really didn't care for the game because of certain things that you could do, right? And those certain things were what was they? The certain thing was like the customization, and what I mean by the genitals customization, like you could actually that it was too much. They felt like that was too much. That you could customize that, and based off your customization, you was able to go certain ways with your relationship, and it was just like that was given. It was like giving too much of realistic stuff, and they felt like kids would play this game and that was too much realistic, which you could implant to kids' heads or whatnot. But that's not me, that I didn't really. That what I cared about was just the gameplay. Like I could care less about that, right? But yes, customization. The customization. One of the things I didn't like was customization. Customization. Well, I do like customization, but I didn't like it wasn't enough variety, and because we know they took certain things out, it really dulled the customization, right? But yes, you could choose a man, woman, or you can make either or trans. You could have a girl with a man's genitals. You can have a man with a girl's genitals. Like you could whatever which way you want to customize your person. That they gave you full complete reign of customizing your person. The only thing I have to say though is like you're gonna put that on YouTube. If you're gonna show the customization, you have to cut that part of the customization because they don't blur, like it's not like how Saint Rose is where they blur the genitals part, but you can obviously tell if you customize the penis was getting long or the boobs was getting big, right? In Cyberpunk, you see the full detail, like they fully detail a penis without blur and a vagina without blur. So it's like and breast. So you have to do all that. If you're gonna play it on YouTube, you will have to cut that whole part out. But that's not the part that irritates me about the customization. Just the lack of other choices, like the detail to your person. Like it was lack of faces, lack of customizable. Like you couldn't. A game disadvantaged. You would think they'll take a cue from 2K and allow you to scan your face into the game. Like it was the customization was supposed to be so detailed, yet it was left a lot to be desired. A major thing was the bugs. Yeah, the bugs. The bugs in this game are so horrendous that it makes you wonder what was the point, right? And another YouTuber said that, in his opinion, and I actually. Once I got to finish with the game and look back, I understood what he was saying now. In his opinion, he felt like this only came out for next gen because they seem from what my research showed me They pretty much like only focus on next gen, even though they announced it for current gen. It's like they focus on the next gen more than they did the current gen, because the negatives for me about the bugs is that they released it for the current gen, and that's where more of the buggy mess comes in. Like everything's on current gen, and with the pandemic and everything, and not everybody was going to be able to get an Xbox, Series X or S or a PlayStation 4 or 5, because they set the companies, both Microsoft and Sony, said themselves, because of the pandemic, they wasn't going to be able to make as much. So they knew themselves, once they released the system, not everybody was going to be able to get one, because they wasn't able to make enough for at least everybody or majority of people to get one. So why not delay with all the delays? Why not delay it until March or February, like this YouTuber saying? Now I understand now. It would have helped the series more if they just would have delayed it until March or February, or I think it's March when they do the last big update fix to the game, and it would just been more if they just released it in March or whatever, that last little big update they do to fix the game, so that it just comes out perfect, right? And I think they should. Now that I look back, they should have, because if you release the game and you got two versions where one version is more perfect than the other, it made no sense to release it for current gen, and not release it, just delay and just say, you know what, we can't. We know people pre-ordered it for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 Pro or whatever system we got for Xbox or PlayStation, but we're canceling the last gen because we couldn't make the last gen. We wouldn't be able to. The game could be released, but we couldn't release it without the last gen being a buggy mess. So to make sure that you play a perfect version of the game, we're just releasing it for current gen only. Sorry, if you had it pre-ordered, we are delaying the game to like March. Your pre-orders will automatically become now a Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 version, right? And I think that's what they should have did, because the bugginess of this game, for example, the one mission I was playing with Pat Am, and who is your love interest, by the way, which is a whole nother negative I would get to, and not that Pat Am was a negative, but the negative was that when I'm playing this mission with Pan Am, I'm driving. We're supposed to be driving to a mission. The bug for me that occurs during this mission is that I got kicked out of the car automatically. I'm driving down the sudden, the car stops, and I jump out the car just by himself, and Pan Am jumps into the driver's seat and drives off. I find another car, either I call my car or I find another car, catch up to Pan Am. The whole car, her whole truck is gone. She's just floating in the middle of the street, asking, telling me and waiting for me to, take her to the mission now. But I can't take her to the mission because there's no car to get in. So I had to restart it. I think I cut it. I think y'all see me. I think in the video that happens, y'all see me be like, man, what the hell? Or what the fuck or whatever I say. Because I'm confused. And then it'll just cut to me where I'm actually driving and getting to the mission. Another is when I'm doing this one mission and I got to get in the car with this dude. And it's a main story mission. You will play this mission if you play the game. And I'm trying to get in the car with this dude, but now it won't let me in the car, and he just drives off without me. But how I know it's a bug, and how you know it's a bug, he's talking to you like you in the car with him. But then at sometimes the game would tell you, hey, you got to, what are you doing? We need your help. But he's talking to you like you in the car. And that's another thing too. Another one of the bugs. You will be talking like to Pan Am or anybody, and they'll bust out in another dialogue while you talking to them about something else. And it randomly happens, like with Rogue. She kept talking to me, and like I did the mission with Rogue, and you will see me. I actually got it on one of the missions that I did with Rogue. I think it was when we was getting Giant Steelhammer's gun. she's talking to me about something totally different, and then will bust back and talk to me about the current situation, the current story mission we in. But then she'll talk to me about something different. Like she'll keep saying something, but obviously we was doing it. Like that's another bug in the game that was annoying me, was that these characters would talk about something totally different or do something totally different, and then would jump back like they was never doing something else, right? And then just the frame rate drops. You got the frame rate drops. The sometimes when you go to character, they look like a blurry mess. I had that a couple of times. The bug where the game crashes and freeze only happened to me about 5 to 6 times. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of another negative. Then it's the side missions. The side missions are another negative because not all the side missions are good. Maybe just because I was playing it by myself. Because they do say some missions is better in co-op, but that's another thing. We don't have co-op missions because the co-op part is not supposed to come out till either the end of this year or next year, whatever it's supposed to be. So that's another thing. We was promised co-op, but we're not getting into like the end of this year or next year. And with the bug problems, it might not be until next year, right? Okay, so that's another negative. I'm trying to figure out. Like I said, the side missions, the best side missions in my opinion, and this, like I said, just my opinion, is the side missions that get Johnny Silverhand's gun. Because Johnny Silverhand's gun is one of the most powerful handguns in the game. One shots. I mean, almost damn near one shots, or if you get fully upgraded, one shots. That mission, the mission to get his gun, his jacket, and his car. The jacket is the jacket you see in all the dude V wears in all the trailers. That's Johnny Silverhand's jacket that you get in the side mission. So that the Fight Club side missions and the Pan Am side missions. You meet Pan Am in a story mission, but the rest of her missions like side missions. You don't really necessarily have to do them, but you have to do them if you want her as your girlfriend, right? And that leads me to my other negative. That's like I said, the bugs, the side missions. So my third negative is the love interest, right? They talk so much about these and these little build-ups to the game's release that it's a disappointment when you get to them and you don't really have that much options. Like literally, Pan Am is like your only option for love interest. But if there's more, but you have to be like, I think you have to be corporal to get the one girl. There's another girl you could get as a dude, but it's pretty much like besides hookers, the only other love interest you could get is Judy, but Judy is only if you is the female Pan Am, because Judy obviously that means Julie is a lesbian, and you have to be female Pan Am, female V. You have to be female V to get Judy. But male V can only get like Pan Am and this girl if you choose the corporation lifestyle. But if you choose Nomad or Street Kid, you pretty much dating Pan Am. You can also date Rogue, but that's more of Johnny Silverhand. Like that's when Johnny Silverhand, spoiler, sometimes take over your body, But it's a minor spoiler because you will have to play the game to understand why I mean he's taking over your body. But yeah, Rogue is like more because Rogue was Johnny Silverhand's girlfriend, and for her it's like it's not actually you dating her, it's like more him dating her. But as V, it's pretty much Pan Am. So that was like. Other than hookers, it was pretty much like that was boring. So that wasn't they tried to make was like one of the grade A best things in the game. It was more like a C minus at best. Uh, what else I could say about the game? That I think that was my only the other negative was that was my major three negatives of the game. Now the positives, the main story missions are amazing, right? They're like they captivate, they get you hooked into the game. Bar, if you get past the bugs and the glitchy messes and stuff, the actual main missions are good. And like I said, those three side missions I talked about, they're the best side missions and the best main. That's like the meat of the game, though. Like, if in all honesty, the game came out December 11th or 12th, I think it was. You could beat the game if it was December 11th or 12th, whatever it was. About 2 to 3 days later, you could have the game completed. The only thing you would have to do is like if you play as the Corporal or Nomad V, there's like a couple of side missions I think, and I haven't done them, but I know there's a couple of side missions and a couple of dialogues and a couple of missions that's like different. But it's not too much different. Most of the missions are still the same. It's just some things that are different according to what lifestyle you choose, right? And there's also an opportunity if you want to go that route. You as Mel V, I forgot. It's a dude. I think his name is Rick. It's something like that. It's a dude that you could also have a love interest. But you could basically choose. Even when you're a male, you could choose. You do have the option to choose between Pan Am and a dude if you as lovers in there, right? But yeah, the gameplay. I want to say the gameplay now wise, gameplay is actually cool. I enjoy the gameplay. I enjoy the many different ways. Even though in the game you see me use mostly guns, you could use swords and whatnot. And I did in my one run through, I didn't use like the arm swords, but you could use the arm swords too. I didn't find the need to really go to the rip docks. That's another negative to me, was that the game didn't really force you, like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. You gotta upgrade your dude, right? Because you really wouldn't be able to fight these next people. That Cell and all them, you wouldn't be able to fight them so it makes you have to go upgrade. Cyberpunk 2077 really doesn't make you have to go upgrade that much. You could put some things here and there. You can upgrade some things, but once you get to a certain point of upgrade, you can pretty much get through the game with that. It don't really challenge you to get more upgrades. It really doesn't. It really doesn't challenge you to get more upgrades. So the upgrading part was like okay, but it could have been better. It left a lot to be desired. It could have been better, but it wasn't horrible either. It seemed like they didn't fully give you what they was going for with the upgrading. And same thing with the customization and the clothes and all that type of stuff. Like, really didn't care about having him look different because it's in first person. You really only see him when you look in the mirror, or sometimes doing cutscenes. Certain cutscenes you will see him, but most of the time the cutscenes are in first person. Yeah, it's just I think only thing else I could say was that if I had to recommend what system to get this game for to get the best experience, I say get it for the next gen. Get it for Xbox Series X or S or the PlayStation 5. Because on PlayStation 4 and 4 Pro and the Xbox X, Xbox One X or S, it's really just going to hinder you more. It's going to knock you out of the game. I have a friend who said he got to a certain point that he returned it because it was just so boring to him. But to me, I finished it through and through, for myself and the YouTube channel. And after doing that, I have to say that it's a good game. It could have been an amazing game if they would have put the time and the effort to get rid of these bugs and not take out so much things that they announced was going to be in the game. By the time the game came out, most of the stuff they announced that was going to be in the game, they took it out. So, what if I have to score the game? What would I give the game? Right, combining all the things I said, what would I give the game? I would give the game I'll give it a solid 9 big ups, and that's because a solid 9, a solid 9 out of 10 because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game for what it was. I still enjoyed it. Still had a fun time. I found myself at times just going, "Holy shit!" This was actually good. I found myself at times just having great fun. But at other times, the game could be just so laggy, it just make you not really want to play it. It could be laggy, it could be freezy, glitchy, and it's just like the gun. Sometimes you had gunplay that's glitchy. The gameplay was awesome, but once again, the bugs make sometimes the gameplay could just be horrible. Just like the major problems with this game is just bugs, and it just made the game sometimes not want to be playable. But I muddled through and ended up enjoying the fact that I muddled through. But it was just to the point where I don't want to touch it. Another reason why I gave it 9 because I don't want to touch it until I get a next gen, just because I feel like it's not worth it once on current gen to keep going through. But like I said in one of my videos, when I get a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, which one ever comes first, I will play the game again on my channel as like the No Man of Corporal for the next gen. But I'm not going back to play it for current gen because it's just not worth it to me. But if I had to suggest which one to get next gen on either for the Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, or PC, those are the best versions to get. But that's my review of Cyberpunk 2077. If you enjoyed that review, you want more games reviews and my opinions on it, let me know in the comments below. We got to get to 100 subscribers. Thank you. See you in the next video.